Hello, Missoula. My name is Ron Wheeler, and it's my happy job today to wish you a happy Earth Day and to introduce you to Missoula Community Access Television, MCAT. What we're hoping is that although life in Missoula is pretty good, our presence may help to make it even better. I'd like to tell you a little bit about MCAT. We have a facility that is located at the Circle Square building, the basement of the old Missoulian building, and we have equipment that is furnished to us by the city of Missoula that is for the use of all Missoula residents, and we offer training for that equipment. All of this is free of charge, and the concept here is that all of Missoula can become television producers, and by so doing we can speak to each other on this electronic medium. A great way to improve the democratic process and to spread a lot of the culture in Missoula that we all know is here. I'm sitting today with Josh Henderson. Sorry, Josh. What we're going to do is interview a few prospective producers here in Missoula and try to find out exactly what these people have in mind for what they can do, and hopefully by doing this you too can have some ideas about how you can use this facility. Josh, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where do you live and what do you do?
Well, I'm a student at Hellgate High School, I guess is the immediate response.
Yay, Hellgate.
Yay. I am active in the newspaper and different activities at school, but when I heard about MCAT, I was immediately kind of turned off because I didn't really know how to apply. And when I heard about Earth Week at Hellgate High School, I realized that I had to have an opportunity to participate and make a film on Earth Week, which happened at Hellgate High School last week. And we're working on that right now, hoping to show that sometime on MCAT.
Well, where did you hear about MCAT?
I heard about it through the school paper, and I'd heard about it like in the newspaper and different things, but I hadn't really known what it was until I got active in Earth Week, and I came to the first orientation meeting and got active into it.
Tell us a little bit about what happened to you when you came to an orientation meeting.
Well, it was a friendly experience, I guess. They were pretty nice people. They showed me how to use the camera equipment, and basically it's a pretty simple meeting. They go through the rules and regulations, and then later on you are allowed to take out a camera and go out and just film in order to learn how to use it.
How tough is it to check out equipment?
There's some scheduling difficulties, but I didn't find too much difficulty. I think that may have been a result of being with Earth Week. I had a little bit of a priority, but besides that, I don't think it's too difficult to get equipment.
Well, what sorts of things, once you get your training, your basic training, so to speak, and you get some equipment, you do a little practice, what is it you're planning on producing?
I don't know. I kind of fancy myself as a budding David Lynch or Steven Spielberg, kind of looking to do whatever comes across my mind, just something creative. The first activity I'm on right now is Earth Week, where we're filming. We filmed all the activities last week at Hellgate High School, and are now working on putting that together and putting the final touches on that so that we can make a program to be shown on MCAT as a sort of documentary. After that, I hope to do maybe some creative works, just stuff that I've constructed all by myself.
Well, let's get back to Earth Day then. You say that there was a number of activities at Hellgate. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the things that you videotaped and we can look forward to seeing in the future?
Our film, hopefully the final product will be a sort of collage, kind of a hodgepodge of interviews, regrettably sound bites, but that seems to work really well on television, footage of the environment, and footage of the activities that happened at Hellgate during that week.
What sorts of activities did happen there?
They planted a tree, various things that were environmentally oriented. They had a small concert. There were rallies and different things going on. So all of that will be put together in sort of a compiled work, I guess, is what I'm looking for. And then we can show that on MCAT.
And you'll be doing your editing here?
All of the work will be done here, all the editing.
One of the things that, that we're pretty proud of down here, and I think everyone will be impressed with, is the amount of equipment that the city has supplied us with. One of the things that everyone in Missoula should understand is that MCAT operates as a result of a franchise that has been let by the city of Missoula to TCI Cablevision of Montana. And as a result of their agreeing to a franchise, the city and TCI, TCI has supplied the city of Missoula with over $200,000 worth of video equipment, which we rent from the city of Missoula for $1 a year, and I'm told that we're paid up. Plus, we have a relatively large operating budget, or at least it looked that way until we started operating, $100,000 a year. We have 1.5 paid staff who you'll meet shortly. And what we would like to do is maybe switch cameras in a moment and introduce you to our paid staff and show you some of the equipment that is available for your use in our facility. Randy, can you switch us into the control room so that we can see who's there?
And bring up 6.
Oh, wow, what
it
a
works,
switch.
my goodness. Okay, hello. We're here in the MCAT control room.
I'm going to get back.
Mary Cansey, assistant director in the foreground. Mike Meese, volunteer producer and right now volunteer sound person at the mixing board. And yeah, we're finally getting to play with some of this equipment that has come in. Mary and I received our training yesterday. The volunteers received their training about 30 minutes ago. And it appears to be working from this end. We hope you're getting a decent picture and sound through your TV set. The equipment is, well, it's nice stuff. It's high-end industrial, in some cases broadcast quality equipment, but it was selected to be very easy to use, user-friendly, I guess is the term. The control room and the automated playback system and our advanced editing system are advanced to the point where people can work up to that. People who are new to video production can start with much simpler equipment. Super VHS camcorders, again, good quality equipment, but things that are as easy to use as anything you've used at home. Video is nothing to be afraid of, and here at MCAT, our job is to demystify the medium and to get it into your hands. You have a story to tell, you have a message to share, you have something to get out on TV to your neighbors, and MCAT is the place you could do that. Let's see if this works in the reverse direction and go back to Ron in the studio.
Well, thank you, Randy. You could see some of our equipment in the back. Some of the fanciest stuff is in our editing suites where most of the post-production work will be done. Josh, have you used any of the editing equipment yet?
No, I haven't gotten the opportunity yet. I've been kind of run ragged trying to get footage for Earth Week down at Hellgate, which was last week. This coming week, I'm going to schedule in some time to work on.
So you're going to take some training on some of the...
Yeah, absolutely.
What kind of equipment have you been using here?
Mainly I've been using the Portapacks, which consist of a portable camera, microphone, tripod with wheels, extension cord, various things that you can use that you'd need for filming outside of the studio.
And how difficult is this stuff to use?
Oh, it's easy. I mean, I was surprised. I thought it'd be a lot more complex than it is. I have kind of a hard time filming. I'm not really an expert at that yet, but setup and takedown are pretty easy.
I'm glad you said yet. What is it, point and shoot, or is there more to it than that?
There are certain techniques that involved with filming that I haven't, by no means, have mastered, but there are, it's basically simple.
Do you know, is much of our equipment like the stuff that you see in people's homes, or?
You'd expect it to be much more difficult than the stuff you'd see in people's homes, but it isn't. It's very easy to use.
Easy to use. That's mostly the key, what I was getting at. I think that what people will find here in Missoula is that the level of training and the level of the equipment that they wish to use will be available, right? That we start out with SVHS camcorders and we move up through 3-chip 3/4-inch tape, so that virtually anything you would like to do in video is available for you here at our facility. We have a studio in which we're shooting right now. It's almost complete. We're still a work in progress, as Randy is fond of saying. But very soon our studio will be in full swing, and we'll have 2 3-chip cameras ready to go all the time, operated and directed through our switching board in our control room. We have 2 editing suites. One of them is probably state-of-the-art, and we'll put together, we hope, some very, very fancy tapes for us to watch here in Missoula. Today we're going to be seeing some clips of some tapes that will be shown in the near future. The first one that we're going to look at was done at the 1990 International Wildlife Film Festival, and this is a clip from the ethics workshop. And if we could roll this one, we've got about 2 minutes of it. I'd like to take a look at it now.
As for me, how did I get here? I'm not a filmmaker, and some of you may know from last year's ethics panel, I'm a psychotherapist. And the reason that I'm interested in environmental ethics is that in my work as a psychotherapist, and in my own healing process, my journey through life, it's become very clear to me that without a natural world, we are doomed as the species we think we'd like to be. We have lost our spirits. We have physical disease. We have emotional illness because we have lost our connection with nature. And so for me, the fate of our human species depends completely on the well-being of the natural world. Without it, we're not going to be the people that we think we are or would like to be. Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Game did a movie several years ago that won an award here at the film festival called The Last Parable. And I have to paraphrase the sentence from that script that had meaning to me, but it went something like, the longer we live, the farther we travel from who we think we are. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. And one of the strangest paradoxes to me about human nature is that the farther we get removed from wilderness and nature in the natural sense, the wilder we become. And I say that because I looked up a lot of words in the dictionary last summer, good old Webster's Collegiate, and words like natural are related to being foolish and an idiot and crazy. Look up Webster's. Look up the word wild in the dictionary. It relates to insanity. And I think there's a real paradox there. What is wild? And why do we seek to tame it and dominate it? And what happens to us when we do that? Just thoughts to ponder.
Hi, I'm Kat. Welcome to Missoula.
Hi, I'm Kat. Now, what does that mean? Oh, I know. The Missoula Center for Appropriate Technology. No? Missoula Community Access Television. Is that right? Uncle Mike, Aunt Jean, Mom, Dad, can you see me? Is that what it is? Does that mean that people like me can be on TV? That we can direct our own shows, produce them, write them? Wonderful. Let's do some more.
Standing. Welcome to Missoula Public Access TV from all of us kids at EVST.
Yeah!
Well, just a touch of what you have to look forward to. One of the things that you should realize is that in these clips that you'll be seeing from time to time today, we're just seeing small snatches from events that happen in Missoula almost on a daily basis. Events that most of us simply don't have the time or energy to take in. However, for the first time in Missoula's history, many of these events will be broadcast as tape delay on television. One of the things that you have to look forward to in Missoula is the university is going to provide us with the Mansfield Lecture Series, including in an upcoming personal appearance by Ralph Nader. Many workshops will be videotaped during the day, and they will be cable cast to your home once or twice, 2 different times during the week, so that you can participate at a level that has never before been possible. I have sitting with me today William Dratz, and Bill and I have been friends for some time. We've been involved in this particular adventure for a considerable length of time. So he and I will go over some history. But I think what makes Bill unique is that in addition to being a member of the board of directors of MCAT, and a hard-working board member, I might add, William also plans on being one of our most active producers. William, would you like to say hello to the people of Missoula?
Hello, Missoula. It's so nice to be here again.
One of the things that I'd like to talk about with you, Bill, is your history with MCAT. When did you get started?
Ron, I think about a year and a half ago. Was it that long?
Oh, at least.
2 years ago, there was a major transition from the committee that was putting together the whole concept of community access television in Missoula. This committee essentially metamorphosed into a public board. At that point, I showed an interest in being on the board and came forward. I think from time to time, I might add, it's a 15-member board, as you know. From time to time, at least once a year, we seek board members, and we seek diversity in the community. I think that one of the reasons I probably got on the board was because I probably represent the views of at least 2 or 3 or 4 people in the community other than myself. And so the idea of getting as wide a constituency as possible, I think that was part of the picture.
Yeah, that is true. And as a matter of fact, we're adding, 4 new board members at our next meeting. We're in the process of selecting now. By the way, this is a public service organization. MCAT is a not-for-profit corporation who has a 5-year contract with the city, and our reason for being is to provide public access television in the city of Missoula. So do watch your paper, because from time to time we'll be asking for people to serve on our board. And our board is a working board. We make policy, and we'll take most of the heat that's generated at this station.
Yes, we will.
A little history. Public access television has been about 10 years coming to Missoula. And I guess I sort of sit here before you today only because I've lasted longer than most people in this effort. I'm the president of the corporation, MCAT, and so I drew the short straw today and get to introduce you to this facility. About 10 years ago, a small group of citizens in Missoula decided that we needed here in Missoula a bit more access to the media. We got together and we talked about the possibility of low-power radio broadcasting, but we found out that in other places around the country, public access facilities were being built. The idea behind that was that a cable provider had the use of a city's right-of-way in which they could string their cable. And in exchange for that permission to use the right-of-way, many cities were gaining capitalization of a public access facility and a dedicated channel. This group of citizens went to work for the city. were selected by the city to work for them to design such a facility and to enter into negotiations for the city with the cable providers. This is a long, involved process, and believe me, gets awfully boring. But it did evolve to a point where $170,000 was granted by TCI to the city of Missoula for equipment, plus 5% of TCI's gross income on a yearly basis. In addition, and I think really importantly in Missoula, we succeeded in getting 12 miles of upstream cable. And what that means is that in addition to this facility from which we're broadcasting today, there are 9 other sites in the city of Missoula from which either live cable casting or pre-produced programming can originate. For example, the 3 public high schools are hooked up and almost ready to go. There's a hookup at the District 1 Administration Building. There is one at City Hall, and you will be seeing live coverage of the City Council, gavel to gavel, every Monday night, although we will have to wait until they are back in their City Hall facilities. There is an origination site at the public library, and as a matter of fact, if you tune in Wednesday night, you'll be seeing the Night of 1,000 Stars and see some of Missoula's prominent citizens reading live from the library. County Courthouse has a hookup, as does the VOTEC. And so you can see that we have put together a rather extensive network within Missoula. Bill, what do you see happening down the road? How is this facility going to get going, and what's it going to look like?
I left my crystal ball at home, Ron, but let me see if I can sort of predict here. I think that we'll grow in staff will certainly, I just think it's a growth proposition. Today's our birthday. It's hard to say on our Earth Day where we're going, but I think the key here is community involvement. What I hope to see and what I know we will see is this huge response from the city of Missoula, people in Missoula. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point, and one I had forgotten to make. We are a facility that has a lot of equipment, and we have a minimal amount of staff, 2 very hard-working, very talented people. But this is going to be, this MCAT is going to be a volunteer-based organization. You need to contact us, and our number is 542-MCAT.
That's 542-MCAT.
542-MCAT. And volunteer your services. We need people at this point to do virtually everything. Answer the telephone, learn how to use the cameras, learn how to produce programming, learn to do editing, write scripts, do storyboards, draw pictures, go for coffee. Whatever it is you're willing to do, we're willing to put you to work. So the faster we put together our volunteer crews, the more we're going to have to watch on Missoula Community Access Television.
One thing I must say, Ron, Missoula is a very capable community, and for that reason, I see volunteerism, even if that is a base we rely on, as being a very effective base. So I'm looking forward to some good results.
Well, one of the things that obviously interests me is getting your programming on television. I'd like to spend a little bit of time talking about the kinds of things you've done in the past and what sorts of things you'd like to do with MCAT in the future.
I have a piece coming up shortly. It's about a half-an-hour piece. It was a documentary I did about a year and a half ago called All of Us, and it will be broadcast. It's about life lived by people who have disabilities from their point of view. I worked in 4 towns in Montana to produce this piece. I have some other things that are a little bit different than that. I have a piece called Haiku that I've been working on. I'm not sure what it is yet. I'll be sure and let you know first thing when it's done. I have to be careful that my program isn't overly salacious or anything like that. I'm sure it won't be. I'm not a budding Christopher Rage. There aren't very many people out there who know who Christopher Rage is, and that's probably good. But I want to do things that are funny and humorous and a little bit tactless, and so that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Well, I'm sure you know better than most that, that Missoula Community Access will be putting on television programs that are produced by the people of Missoula. We are, at MCAT, are going to remain program neutral. The only thing that will govern our programming will be that we will refuse to cablecast programming that is as outlined in the First Amendment. That is, we will not put on programming that is patently obscene, and of course that's going to be in the eye of the beholder. We will not do programming that exhorts to immediate violence. We will not allow people to invade privacy, to libel or slander. But otherwise, you're going to find that Missoula Community Access Television is an electronic soapbox, one in which everyone is welcome to come and express their views, express their talents, express their craft. And we hope that everyone is going to do that. There will be time when you won't like the programming, but there will be times when you will see programming here that you will see nowhere else and will want to see it desperately. We have the ability here to do what we call narrow casting. We can produce programming without having to rely on making money in order to do so. Therefore, you will see programming here that does not necessarily have mass appeal, but programming that you and your family and maybe 3 or 4 other families in Missoula will love to watch. And we're hoping that from time to time we will strike that kind of chord in each and every family in Missoula. We have some other clips that we'd like to look at. There's one that again is from an upcoming piece that is produced by Mike Meese, and this is a clip from an event that you're probably fairly familiar with. It was covered in the paper a few days ago. It is the famous peace sign incident.
Listen up for a second. If there's any problem with the microwave, you'll be arrested for trespass.
We're not going to bother that.
Okay, I'm not saying you are, just so everybody understands the law. This is private property belonging to the U.S. West. You're all aware they've had a lot of problems with it. Anybody over the fence, it's a criminal offense.
Give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance.
Well, that was one of the more exciting activities in the last few days. I guess you had to be there. What we're going to do is go into some of our regular programming. We're going to see a concert that has been produced locally, one that maybe not everyone had a chance to see, and now you will.
in Alaska this last year due to the Exxon oil spill. But this song I wrote called Alaska Long Live On, will dedicate it to the hope that nothing like that ever happens again. And it's balanced and beneath the weight of man. But the buffalo are gone and the grizzly's time is near, 'cause his forest had been stripped to clear the land. In a short 200 years of blood and sweat-stained tears, we've laid the tracks now stretched from sea to sea. Here's all we have to show: a dollar and the hoe, which we ripped the earth and spilled her mysteries. May Alaska long live on, her freedom be my song for all time. Let her rivers and her caribou run free, her red salmon never spawn, awake to a new dawn, where midnight sun displays her harmony. We hear tell of a place and pray it be a base for a new outlook, a fresh approach to be, where man can be a friend, never crack or bend, fragile bones of arcticology. May Alaska long live on, her freedom be my song for all time. Let her rivers and her caribou run free, a red salmon never spawn, awake to a new dawn, where midnight sun displays her harmony, where midnight sun displays her harmony, hear midnight sun play her harmony. Late last June, I woke up Saturday morning. Actually, it was at a motel room across from 4Bs. It was a long time. I was alone. And the inspiration hit. Actually, I was working on a project at that time. The project, some of you may have seen the Out West production. The song "The Last Best Place" was featured in that. I wrote the words on that Saturday morning in early June at that motel room here in Missoula. And the next week, Rob Quist and I and David sat up and put some music to it. And before you knew it, it was in the Western Harmony show. And before you knew it, it was in the Out West production. This is a song this is dedicated to the last best place on earth. Just as the orange sun breaks the plain between the dawn and day, on the great plains in the last best place grow tender shoots of grain. The children of 1,000 years are rising once again to hunt and fish and harvest what the sun on earth will send. From the Ice Age to the New Age, where anti-establishment song. This song was written by John Prine to shed insight into the media.
She was a level-headed dancer on the run from alcohol, and I was just a soldier on the way to Montreal. But she pressed her chest against me about the time the jukebox broke, and she gave me a peck on the back of the neck. These are the words she spoke. Blow up your TV, throw away your paper, and go to the country. Build you a home and a little garden. Eat a lot of peaches, woo, try and find Jesus on your own. Well, I sat there at the table and I acted real naive, 'cause I knew that topless lady, she had something up her sleeve. She danced around the room a while and she did the hoochie coo. Yeah, sing a song all night long, telling me what to do. Sing with me. Blow up your TV, throw away the paper, and go to the country. Build you a home and a little garden. Eat a lot of peaches, woo, try and find Jesus on your own. But I was young and hungry and about to leave that place. Just as I was going, she looked me in the face. I said, you must know the answer. She said, no, but give it a try. And to this day we've been living our way. Here is the reason why. Well, we blew up her TV, threw away the paper, and we went to the country. Built us a home, had a lot of children, fed them on beaches, woo-hoo. They all found Jesus on their own.
I give lecture programs up in Glacier National Park for the Glacier History Natural History Association on the east side, reflecting upon the cultural changes, actually the cultural revolutions, and it seems like the tidal waves have swept over the Blackfeet people in the last 300 years. And in doing so, at the end of my lecture, I recount how important oral tradition is to not only Native peoples for keeping their histories going, but also to people at large. I mean, everybody. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a story written in their minds and their hearts and their souls. And upon their death, if that story is not remembered and imprinted in someone else, someone else's hearts, minds, and souls, we have a tremendous loss that occurs. This loss was no more felt than on the morning of my grandmother's funeral in 1980. Grandma was the granddaughter of Chief Red Crow, who was the chief of the Blood Division of the Blackfeet at the time of their treaty signing with the Canadian government in 1877. Grandma used to tell us kids stories about Napi, our creator, old man, and the heroic war exploits of Chief Red Crow, and go on through the ages as her mother had told her right from the beginning of time. This had been passed on. And on the morning of my grandmother's funeral in the St. Mary's Valley, I realized that no longer was this incredible hand-me-down gift available. And I estimated for every hour that I spent listening to Grandma, I probably spent 1,000 hours in front of the TV tube, unaware at that young point in my age. I'd like to dedicate this song to the preservation of oral tradition in all our cultures.
You have thrice earned the rest that you got, and the cross your fingers carry to beyond. Now I really can't imagine that you've gone. Speak to me, Grandma. Stories blossom in you. Speak to me, Grandma. Legend blended with truth, and your words brushed a portrait for us in the valley of Earl St. Mary. And your eyes were the light for us when our bodies couldn't carry us beyond. Now I really can't imagine that you're gone. You felt the buffalo go, you heard the stagecoach roll, you saw Booming Alton rise and fall. You rode your pony upon moccasin flight at Century's dawn. The trails became roads, and the roads became home. We listened to the stories that you told. You wed a man from the north, then 10 fine children came forth. Alex was as still as you grew. You were the center of us, still in our valley we trust. The vision of St. Mary appeared upon the land and leaves me in this fast closing way. Speak to me, Grandma. I'm alone in my thoughts. Speak to me, Grandma. Now you're at home with the thought of a wind blowing off the top of July through the valley of Earl St. Mary. You have thrice earned the rest that you've got, and the cross your fingers carry to beyond. Now I really can't imagine that you're gone. There's a wind blowing off the top of July through the valley of Earl St. Mary. And your eyes were the light for us when our bodies couldn't carry us beyond. Now I really can't believe, I really won't imagine, I really can't believe that you're gone. Thank you, Grandma. Mentioned that grandmother was my link between that time that Charlie Russell was recording his perceptions on canvas and the present. Charlie Russell lived in a very interesting time. He arrived in Montana in 1880, a 16-year-old kid from St. Louis, Missouri. And by the time he had finished his life in Great Falls in the next century, he had become perhaps the greatest of all Western painters. Well, okay, Monty Dolak's working on it right now. But I'd like to do this song. This song was written by Ian Tyson, a Canadian singer-songwriter, and it's entitled The Gift, dedicated to the life and times of Charlie Russell. In old St. Louis, over in Missouri, the mighty Mississippi, well, it rose and flows. A child was born to Mary Russell, and it starts a legend every cowboy knows. A young kid Russell before she goes, got to get him on down, 'cause she sure to go. When the Lord called Charlie to his home up yonder, he said, Kid Russell, I got a job for you. You're in charge of sunsets back in wild Montana, 'cause I can't paint them quite as good as you. And when you're done, go out and have a few. And Nancy Russell, make sure it's just two. God made Montana for the wild man, for the pink and the Sioux and Crow. But he saved his greatest gift for Charlie. Better get him on down before she goes. Got to get him on down, 'cause she sure to go. Better get him on down, 'cause she's bound to go.
This song is dedicated, actually I began writing it, dedicating it to love lost and kind of a broken heart. About halfway through it, I attended a, a chemical dependency in America, a week-long workshop, and became extremely sensitized to dysfunctional families and the child within, so to speak. And at the end of that experience, I decided to dedicate this to adult children. This is called The Taming of Misfortune's Pain. So, healing song, healing song.
What's that you say of experience attained with little gain? And why are you so serious? You have had your share of pain. And why does my heart tend to miss you after suffering a torch drowned in rain? We'll both chalk this one for experience in the taming of misfortune's pain. I saw your face in the mirror frame, questioning my next intention. You vanished from my view with an energy that released me from my senses. But I'm fading ever deep in the morning. My thoughts are spin with memories unchained. I'll take what the road has to offer me in the taming of misfortune's pain. Time travels by like dreams it's taken by the tide. With an ebb and flow it tows at the heartstrings, arriving in the harbors of our lives. Down deep in my heart, I still miss you. Your thoughts I take what the road has to offer me in the taming of misfortune's pain. I'll take what your love has to offer me in the taming of misfortune's pain. With the taming of misfortune's pain.
I have a song here before I have Dave up and we rock and roll a little bit. I'm gonna do a song that I'm recording this next time around. It's a water song. It's dedicated to the waking people up all around on the quality of, well, Missoula. We should, things are floating in the river going by here. We should, especially where we depend on the water for, well, every place depends on the water for life. Whether it be the food we eat or the water we drink. I wrote this song dedicated to, there was a group in Seattle called the Carkeek Park Coalition. Okay, Carkeek Park was in North Seattle towards Puget Sound. And for eons, for thousands of years, the salmon spawned in that creek all the way up until the early 1970s. And by virtue of the city of Seattle choosing to dump the storm drains into that drainage and people's wastewater, the creek no longer could support salmon spawning, and salmon spawning died. By this citizens action group, the Carkeek Park Coalition, they woke up the people and they planted salmon. They pressured the city into dumping the storm drains into the next tributary over, and which was all, rural, urban sprawl pretty much. And there was actually a successful spawning of Seattle of salmon once again in 1984. This song is called Legacy. It's dedicated to bringing it back.
A child sits beside a stream that flows to the south, awaiting arrival of the fish that swam down the waters in an earlier year, when cedars brushed the sky and the land was in line with God. Alone there he sits and then thinks to himself, where is that heaven? And what is a hell? Is hell the state which we have made by polluting our waters? The miracle fades, and behold, the choices are made through the actions displayed. I pray they will be a legacy that our children can hold and pass to their own when they die. A child sits beside a stream that flows to the south, awaiting arrival of the fish that swam down the waters in an earlier year, when cedars brushed the sky and the land was in line with God. When forests brushed the sky and the land was in line with God.
During the course of the last 5 or 6 years up around these parts, northwestern Montana, there has been a miracle, practically a miracle, considering our attitudes towards the species in the past 100 years. What I'm talking about is the wolf has reintroduced itself into northwestern Montana. Between the years of the 1880s, after the buffalo were decimated by the great buffalo hunters, we had a period where we had intense bounty hunting of the species of wolf because they did conflict with agricultural pastoral people somewhat, but even in places where there was no cattle or sheep, we had the bounty hunters piercing into the heart of the wilderness to eradicate this once very numerous species. As a matter of fact, Lewis and Clark, or was it, no, it was Catlin. Catlin, when he came across in the early 1800s, wrote, it was hard to tell who was more numerous, the wolves or the buffalo. So there was an exceptionally close relationship between the Plains Indians and really the Indians of North America and the wolf as a species. Especially with the hunting-gathering peoples, we had really their lives were intertwined because both of them depended upon a strong kinship-oriented group for the survival. Okay, with the Indian tribes, naturally, we had their systems, and then we had the wolf pack systems. This was picked up right from the time of creation by Native America, and the wolf was revered almost as a supernatural being. I would like to do this song. This is the title track off the Wolves and Sea and Plain album. This song contrasts perspectives between the wolf and mankind, with the wolf being looked upon as a brother and a friend by traditional Native America, and contrasting with the bounty hunters from just the last. We had, let's say, we've had 10,000 years of good relationships between wolves and humans on this continent, and we've had 100 years of total tragedy and horror. I'm hoping we can restore the good relationship again. This is Wolf.
York states. Now you're gone from the woods, from the mountains, from the plains. They are filled with the still of a vanishing frontier. They are broken by the blade till they are once so dear. So load on your planes, get a permit for your gig. We'll fly over the tundra and musket terrain in search of the killers of our moose and our caribou, and all that are helpless from weekend the wind. Protecting the wild while we in our roads, blasting those bountiful wolves down below. Oh, you were free, you were hunting in the sun long before I arrived. You were nature, you were young when we came and survived. We were brothers side by side in the days of the arrow, in the days of the bow, in the days of the spirit, not too long a time ago. In the days of the arrow, in the days of the bow, in the days